Welcome to the French Wedding Podcast with your host Naïm, the only podcast in English about weddings in France. Great conversations, tips and insights about your French wedding, some wisdom before your big day, and the opportunity to hear wedding professionals actually living and working in France, only for your day to be the most amazing to remember.
Hello everyone and welcome to the French Wedding Podcast. Greetings from France. This is the place where we're recording this show. I'm Naïm, professional ceremony officiant based in my hometown, Paris, and I created this show especially for future brides and grooms willing to get married in Paris or anywhere in France. Each episode is an occasion to meet a main actor of the industry, can be a vendor such as a wedding planner, hair and makeup artists, bridal salon, videographer, venue owner, bloggers, you name it. This show exists to bring you some insight about how people do things in France regarding the wedding industry, but we also share funny stories, things to know, and special memories when we happen to work together on the very same wedding. My guest today started her company in 2013 while she was working as a vendor in the French weddings industry, and she realized her brides had been struggling to find English-speaking vendors. She decided to take some of that hard work on for them and built a directory online, and Brides in France was born. Today, after 7 years, she has created an amazing team and looking forward to helping even more international couples connect with top English-speaking suppliers and creating their perfect wedding dreams. Please welcome to the show, Emma Willett. Emma, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here. This is once again a remote episode. I had no choice to do the opposite because you're on the opposite of the planet. You're in Australia.
Right, it's evening here and it's morning there. See you.
We could meet halfway, but it would be complicated with the situation. How's everything, Emma? Thanks for being here.
No, thank you for having me. It's all really good here. Yeah, I do miss France quite a bit, but I'm hoping to get back as once all this is over.
Tell me more about your story, because Australia, France.
Yeah, it wasn't really that intentional. I moved to France back in 2011 and specialised in bridal hair, and saw a bit of a gap in the market because there was a lot of destination couples obviously coming over to France and looking for somebody that was English speaking so that they could communicate what they were looking for, especially with hair because it's quite personal. And then after a couple of years of doing that, I realised that a lot of the couples would say to me, oh, do you know an English-speaking florist? Or do you know an English-speaking photographer? And obviously, you know, after a couple of years, I did kind of meet quite a few people. And then I decided to put something together like an online directory or a resource for couples so that they could actually go on there and find English-speaking couples. English-speaking suppliers that would be able to help them and fit their needs. So yeah, that was kind of how it started, and then it kind of grew and grew, and now we're kind of like a network of English-speaking suppliers, and we kind of offer quite a lot more.
Okay, what was the year when you started?
2014. 2014,
so
we launched the website. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, so it's kind of progressed as it's been a bit of a passion, French weddings for me and France in general, and obviously the hairstyling and everything. It was a really good way to network as well. So it was just something that people really needed, and I love connecting people. So networking is something that really helped me with my business. So I wanted to help other suppliers with theirs.
Great. So what was the first step? So you had, you like you said, you mentioned that you've seen a gap in the market, and I agree with that. And what was the next step?
Well, the next step was to put a website together, and I'd never done it before apart from like a very basic one. So I just spent a whole year back in 2013 working towards the website, and I had great clients of mine that mentored me through it, and yeah, created this website, got in contact with a lot of the suppliers that I knew just to start it off with and then start building it up. We had networking events and that grew from there. So yeah, we've just been adding. And then last year, obviously 2019, we decided to get to a point where we could upgrade the website, and we really put effort in and because it had so many pages on name. I had to get like literally everything transferred over, all the back end, and then we created a new site that was just a little bit more modern. and just keeping with the times, and easier to navigate for couples to be able to find suppliers. Yes, it's just been building websites, building audiences, building groups on Facebook and across social media platforms, and just building and being consistent. And I think that's what's really helped us, is that we are consistent in what we do.
Sounds like you have a very, very special vision about the wedding industry in general.
Yeah, I love weddings, and I think for me, there's a lot of directories and blogs out there. So I didn't want to be a blog. I didn't want it to be just a directory. And the idea of networking, and to build a network that we could then promote via social media, through networking. We have now kind of gone into the avenue of virtual networking with online rooms. So obviously, I think
tell me more about that.
Well,
sorry to interrupt, but it makes me curious.
No, that's good. We had obviously the coronavirus starting, so not a lot of people were out and about, and people were kind of feeling quite alone at home. And that's one thing I think with wedding suppliers, is we are sole traders. We work for ourselves, self-employed, so it is quite a lonely place. And it's so nice when you get to the weddings and you see the same faces again. It kind of becomes a bit of a family. True. When you bump into all the same people. So we've got a networking group once every month with our members. And if there's any problems, then I thought, right, well, we can't really go out promoting weddings as such right now, because it's, everyone's having to cancel them. It just felt a bit, just a bit not right. It just didn't feel I didn't feel right doing it. So my goal then was to support all the suppliers and just let them know that anything that we can help with, anything we can connect you with. So, for example, we had a photographer that had some problems with their contract from obviously with what's been going on. So I created a networking room for her to discuss it with other photographers. So they all kind of had a bit of a brainstorming session, and they all managed to tweak their contracts a little bit just to protect them more in the future. So then the idea came from that I'm loving this. I'm loving connecting people, and I'm really just putting people together. I'm not, trained in contracts or anything like that.
Yeah,
just be able to put them in place. And then everybody on the group that we run were quite interested in having some networking sessions. So I would come up with a topic. So, for example, this is the time now with a few cancellations or postponements that people have got more time to tweak their business. So we come up with a topic, obviously, if anyone wants to update their websites and branding. So now we've created some rooms where they come along and they all chat together, and I put a presentation together on a particular theme, and then they all get chatting. And now I've got people, they've created their own plans for styled shoots. They're off making friends, and they don't feel so alone. So that's my job done for that moment. I was loving that.
I really love that vision of putting people together in the industry. Obviously, like you said, this is a very fragmented industry. We're all working for ourselves as vendors, and the couples, they're looking for people, and they sometimes don't really know where to start. So I really like your idea of creating a directory, which is not the first time that it's done, but the fact that you are adding this kind of vision to it, I find it quite interesting, really, really good.
And when I first started out as well, networking was something that really helped me. And I've always had this big belief of working together achieves more. And if you recommend people that you know, then you feel good recommending them, and you know that couple is going to have a quality provider. I used to always go back to the UK and do wedding shows, and advertise through different things. But there was a lot of suppliers at the time that were advertising in local magazines and things, which are great and possibly could get seen. But international couples are coming from all over the world, and they're not going to necessarily get to see those magazines. So I kind of found a way that I was going back to the UK at the time to promote myself through wedding shows and French wedding shows with a couple of wedding planners that are in London. And that gave me the opportunity to showcase what we did and network. And then coming back, and every time I'd go to a wedding myself, I would go and introduce myself to the planner, introduce myself to venue owners and any other suppliers that I would see. And that created me so much more work. So I just wanted to encourage the members that, we have in our private groups and stuff, to get chatting with each other and make friends and actually promote each other as well as, us just promoting them. So it's kind of built up like that.
Really, really nice. I really like the idea. I'm convinced. You're I'm sold.
I'm going to have to get you on there.
For sure. The thing that I really wanted to know is how those friends look like in the subconscious of Australian people in general.
Yeah, well, this is what I love about France is you only have to say the word France or you say French. You know, everyone
Mhm.
goes mad for it. I think because it's known as the city of love,
Of
the
course.
food of love. Everybody just loves that word French,
Hmm.
and with Australians, they're very contemporary. It's a modern country. There's no traditional chateaus, castles,
Right.
history.
Mm.
So that is also something that they long for. And because they're so far away from Europe, Europe is a big, a big thing. So when you're combining your tradition, your history, Europe, France, and all that to offer. It is so inviting for Australians, and Americans love it too, and especially Asians as well. And Australia also been very multicultural. There's a lot of Asians here, and they absolutely love France too. Being from built-up cities, even remember having some brides from Asia that came over from like China and Japan, and they would say, "Oh, it's just so nice to breathe fresh air." Everything's so built up, a
Yeah, I
nice
see.
concrete jungle that they just feel like the open countryside. So
Right.
France has so much to offer everybody. So yeah, it's definitely. I've even been doing some wedding shows here in Australia to
Hmm.
showcase what we do. And yeah, the feedback we get, and everybody it's like a dream for people. It really is.
I find it really interesting. I was talking about this perspective about France with many, many, many guests before, and it's always the same thing. We are some of us are French nationals. Some other vendors are from all over the world, but we all live here most of the time, or we work here. And when you grow here as a French person, you know that you're French and you know that France is great, blah blah blah. But you kind of live with it, just like, okay, this is my country, whatever. And I realized that with time, you just forget about it. And it's been truly amazing for me to come back and work with an international couple and see this sparkle in their eyes, and what you just said, like they appreciate everything, the tradition, the castles, the romance, the city of love, and it changed everything. It brings me back to truly to the basics of my country. Like, oh wow, yeah, like this is amazing, and I
Yeah.
find it quite interesting, this shift.
You got the scenery, the setting, and people obviously what it's like now with social media. Everyone just loves great images and photos, and having the best photos they can, and having somewhere like different to the norm. One of the Australians has also said to me that they to fly back to fly out to France, have a week's holiday, have their wedding, and then maybe travel around Europe as a honeymoon is actually cheaper than having a one-day wedding in Australia.
No way.
So
Really?
yeah, so that's also quite inviting as well.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean you're looking at about 50,000 plus for a wedding here. So
Okay.
they
Wow.
can get a
Yeah.
whole holiday and have all that time and quality time with their friends and family. So that is also another reason that they like to go to from Australia to.
Very interesting. I didn't know. I couldn't imagine that. I have a question for you also regarding your location, because when I hear you talking, it looks like you're everywhere in the UK, in France, in Australia. So tell me a bit more about your process. How do you operate?
So obviously initially being in France, I was close to the UK and having family and friends there. So I would combine going to see them with doing wedding shows and things like that. Obviously now being in Australia, I can't have the access as easily. So, but we have brides from all over the world. So we're really doing a lot of our promotional activity online through social media platforms. From obviously over the years, seeing what works and what doesn't. Again, the wedding shows have been fantastic for networking and for getting suppliers. And brides have been interested, and we've kind of built up mailing lists. but I would say we get a lot more through definitely Facebook and Instagram. So we've kind of seen over the years what works and what doesn't. So we feel that, being online, so being in Australia really has been able to give me the time to put more into Brides in France. And I know it's strange because I still have this love for France, but being able to be online, I can be anywhere. But there will be times, obviously, once this virus is over and we can travel again and get back,
sure,
that there will be opportunities for me to get back as well, get to France, maybe hold some more events, and go back to the UK, do some wedding shows. So that's where family is. And now being able to access the Australian market to showcase what we do, is something that, has been a really good opportunity to do as well.
Very good. And I've been browsing your platform, which is really, really amazing. I recommend everyone to have a try. Depending if you're a bride or a groom, or if you're a vendor, how do you use the platform? Drive me through it.
Okay, so with the website has our big white book. And in our big white book is all the different categories for vendors. Now, we didn't want to have a particular map as such, where you can click on an area of France and stuff, because a lot of our vendors tend to be a lot kind of traveling around down to the southwest and through to the south of France, which we are building up. And I didn't want to click on a particular area and then there not be anybody there. So, and most of our providers and suppliers do travel. And although it's such a big place, the English speaking suppliers is quite like a small industry really with that. So they're prepared to travel, and it's really just letting couples know the legalities of marrying in France, that there is suppliers out here that you can communicate your wedding dream effectively, that really are passionate about French weddings. They're all quality suppliers, so we vet everybody that comes on. So we know that they've got great websites, they've got a good presence, they've got great reviews, that they're fully registered, and that they've got experience. We're not going to just put anybody on the site. However, in saying that, there are opportunities for people that are growing in their business that want to kind of promote more, but they're not quite sure how, that we do consultations with them to kind of give them an idea on branding, websites, and just offer any guidance really to how that they can move forward with their business so that we can let them on the site. With our suppliers, we have a private Facebook group that if they join, they can be a member of that, where we do online networking, and that's where we go on and I'll share details of, if anyone would like to come and join this room, or we're now doing that. At the moment, like yourself doing the podcast, I'm doing some interviews for YouTube, and so that on the pages, so they get a full page to showcase themselves, so that when the couples go on, they can read up a little bit more about them. But by doing video interviews, they actually get to see the supplier and get to see who they're going to be working with. Again, it's so personal. So for them to be able to, see a little bit of their personality, and actually I tend to ask the questions that couples would ask, so that, it just puts their mind at rest, just by watching a video that we can upload to their page, plus we've got it on the YouTube channel. So there's kind of a lot more opportunities like that as well. But for the couples, we also run Facebook groups for the couples and I know it sounds odd, but to get them away from all the advertising, because the couple might put on, has anyone got, or can help me with this? And then they get bombarded with everybody. And sometimes the brides want to just chat amongst themselves, and then they make recommendations. So with Claire Jones, I run the French Bridal Cafe, where the brides can actually chat amongst themselves. And if there's anybody that's in need of something, then I'll contact them via inbox to talk to them about it and then refer them on. And we also have the Brides in France Couples Retreat, which is a group where it's not just for brides, the husbands-to-be can join as well. And we'll just chat, and I'll promote all our new suppliers on there directly to the brides.
How do you get all these ideas and in so little time?
I just get excited. I don't know what happens. It's just something that comes to constantly have new ideas, refreshing. I see things, because I travel as well, I see things that go on in other countries. I think, I could adapt that and do that to this. And I try to think outside the box. I try to do things that are a little bit different, that hopefully can stand out.
You told me your main mission is networking and connecting and offering support and guidance. And that really makes sense and resonates now that I hear you having 3,000 ideas in the same hour. How do you keep your rhythm with that? Do you have a team with you?
So my partner, my husband, he has been kind of like the social media of Facebook. He's behind the scenes. So we have many groups actually, and we have our page, but we also, when we promote our suppliers, we promote them in all the other groups that we run as well. I do Instagram, Pinterest as well, and the YouTube videos and all the promotional videos that we kind of, and the big ideas. We had a Brides in France dance challenge a little while ago where I got a group of wedding suppliers to get together and dance to Justin Timberlake, Can't Stop the Feeling. I teamed up with French wedding singers and they sang the song, and then we got everyone dancing, and I edited the video and sent it out just to cheer people up, to realise that we're all rooting for you and dancing for you while you're waiting for your wedding next year or the year
That's
after
great.
now. Going on, they're just trying to send out positive vibes, but without directly promoting France as such in such a crisis time. We're just trying to keep people chin up, cheer up. Let's get moving forward, and just trying to think of all these ideas. We've also got Ben Hurt. He's a resident photographer that we work with quite a lot. He's actually based in Australia, and I actually knew him before I moved here because he joined the site because he works a lot in Paris. And he comes back and forth. So he was always a member anyway. And now that we're here, so he travels back. So he offers, if anyone wants any styled shoots, or if people are looking to brand and promote their wedding business, then he will go along and help them with some imagery. He also works behind the scenes on all my CRM systems and gives me that motivation. And so we've got Ben as well. So three of us, and I've also got a partner in the UK that does all our accounts. So there's four.
Right.
4 of us in the team.
Little teams sometimes go really far compared to big business without a vision or friendship or initial sparkle again that gives the go. And talking about your website and your business, do you have any projects for the future? Any plans that you want to talk about?
At the moment, we're just kind of getting through this year because it's obviously been
Which is tough. A good plan, good project.
I do have some big ideas for the future in moving forward. We've just initiated a Brides in France referral program for our members. Mm-hmm. So if they're a supplier that's a member and they're out doing a wedding and they come across another supplier that they can highly recommend, if they've joined our referral system,
okay,
if they do recommend somebody and they join us, they can kind of earn commission on that. So it's a way that they can actually earn back their membership, and also to build up Brides in France. So we kind of see it as if, like, if you can help us grow our business, then we'll have more investment to be able to put into helping you grow yours. So the Brides in France referral program's been really good, and just putting together more online training for some of our suppliers as well. Although we're promoting, so Instagram strategies, for hashtag strategies, branding, building, creating graphics for their own businesses and things like that. So we're kind of putting branding and marketing training together. So I've been doing a lot more virtual networking groups, like tailored towards a little bit of training and help to suppliers. So we've kind of been focusing more on that. So it's not just a case of you're a member and we're just promoting you. We're also here to support you.
Mm-hmm. That's what I really like about your vision and your website, is that it really looks different, like of all the other directories, because there is a lot big platforms that we're not going to name, but
we're working together to choose more.
They're great.
Said that. I remember when I first moved to France and I really wanted to get out and do the weddings. There was I'm going to say it if I'm allowed, but Kerry Hawkins, she is amazing, wonderful hair and makeup artist, and she was in the area that I was in, and I just contacted her out of the blue and I said, "Hi Kerry, I want to do what you do in your area. You're fantastic at it. Any chance you could offer me some advice and give me some help?" I thought she could actually turn around and say to me, "No, go away, not at all."
Yeah.
So she met me and we got on really, really well. And we never kind of told each other our venues or anything like that. We knew not to ask, but we just literally said that if any of us get really busy, and we have to say no to somebody, that we'd refer it to each other. Mm-hmm. So she was like my biggest competitor, but we become friends and we created loads of work for each other just by, realizing, if I'm not busy, then please use Kerry, or if Kerry's not busy, she should use me. And that's another reason why I wanted people to realize it is a competitive market, but there's so many weddings, and that, there's enough for everybody, and just to be able to share them and help each other actually creates more work for you.
100%. I really discovered this truth when I launched the podcast, and I started to make friends in the industry by coincidence, because I was having guests first and then talking, keep contacting, keep chatting, and now I can name most of them my friends, my coworkers, and I really like this this vision of abundance, and there is work for everyone, and it's not gonna hurt or in any way to collaborate and give each other advices or work referrals, anything. It's really good.
It does really help, and that's why I kind of try to push the network thing. But obviously there's other reasons we do obviously want to promote, and we really want to help our couples. The couples, they're so lost, they're kind of marrying abroad, they don't know where to go, they don't know who to turn, they just know they've got this vision of this dream perfect wedding in the chateau, and where do they start? And they want to make sure that they've got the suppliers that they can communicate it with. And every supplier, like for example photographers, there's so many different styles of photography. So even if we have it's quite a busy category actually on the site, but that's not a problem or to be competitive, because there's going to be one style that suits one couple and another style that's going to suit another. So I think having a range of suppliers that offers such different things, that someone will be happy. They can't not be. There's something for everybody. But we do want to build up the areas. We're brides in France. We don't want to be just brides in Southwest France. We want to be able to build up in Paris and the French Riviera and some of the most popular destinations that brides go to, so that we can help couples that want to go anywhere in France.
Do you offer consultation for this kind of questions or doubts that brides and groom can have? Like, for example, oh my God, I have this dress, but I don't know if it's going to fit to this chateau or this. Do you know what I mean? I can see in your smile.
With obviously all my networking and connections, yes. I was involved in the 2018 Bridal Trend Report, the wedding report from Kylie Carson that goes out every year. So we went on and at the time promoted brides in France, but also Claire and I showcased hair and makeup. And we did a model, and we shared information on what's upcoming trends. So I try to connect with other people like that we can, be able to keep up to date ourselves and keep the information coming in, so that when I'm on the bridal groups and the couples, like the brides will say to me, oh, what do I do with this? What do I do with that? Because obviously I'm a bridal hairstylist and I've got this network, but I don't necessarily know the ins and outs of every single category as a supplier. So, to be able to connect and put people in touch with other people. But we do get couples that write to us a lot, saying, I'm getting married and I'd really like to get married in France. We're looking at this area. Is there any venues in that area that would meet, this amount of number of people and stuff? So I'll be able to go, well, actually, here's our venues guide. We've also got a venues guide, which is just more of a breakdown of the venues that we have on the site, into seeing how many rooms they've got, how many people they cater for, and they can download that into a PDF as well. We also have planning template worksheets for them, so that they can print them off and keep a record of everything that they're doing.
Interesting.
So they come to me all the time asking questions, but my job really is to get them to the page of that supplier or of a supplier that can help, or the whole category, so they can read through and choose who they want to. So again, it's another connecting role really. I don't want to pretend to know everything. I'm not an expert in every field, but if I can't help, I know someone that can.
Sounds really good. And where can people find you online?
If you www.bridesinfrance.com, that will come up with obviously our homepage, and that will easily navigate. It's a simple site. We didn't want to have loads of kind of floating adverts around and stuff like that. It's literally all our suppliers have a page that showcases what they do, with a little bit more detail. Some have got some videos. Some musicians have got some soundtracks that you can listen to some of their repertoire. We've got links to things. We do tend to encourage couples to go through the contact page on their site so that our buyers know that it's from us, so that gets them. We don't earn commission as we go or anything like that. It's just the suppliers just have one-off membership fee to pay to go on the site. That's it. And any extras that we do is out of love.
Out of love in the wedding industry. I couldn't fit better.
Exactly. It keeps me happy.
Great. Thank you so much, Emma. Just one more thing before we wrap up this episode. Would you like to give something to the audience listening today?
Yes, I really would. So I'm offering consultations to have chats with any couples that are looking to get married in France, that are just not sure where to start, that I could happily have a Zoom meeting with them just to help them put them in the right direction. We've got amazing wedding planners and venues. So if they do need some help and a bit daunted by the whole situation, then I'm happy to actually chat with them and give them a bit of an overview and point them into the right direction. And with regards to suppliers, as we really want to build up in different areas, we would love for them to join us. So I'll be offering a 25% discount on our annual membership fee. We would really, really love to be able to give back and have people join us.
Perfect. So that's 2 giveaways, guys. That's one for the couples listening, brides to be, grooms to be, and the other one for our fellows vendors, wedding vendors in France. So you have the discounts membership 25%. I can put the voucher code in the show notes if there is one. And for the couples, you just contact Emma in her company on Brides in France through the contact form. Is there anything that you want to add, Emma?
Well, I think it's just obviously we're here to help you, everybody. We're here to help everybody. So we just want to make sure that, everyone's got support and guidance. They're not on their own, and it shouldn't be so daunting marrying abroad when we've got all these amazing English-speaking suppliers that are here to help and make your day special.
Great. I think we're going to end up on that note. Thank you so much again for being here.
Thank you for the opportunity to share with you what we do.
Thank you so much. And we'll be in touch, probably not in Australia for me. So as soon as the coronavirus will go down, we'll meet for sure in one venue.
Definitely.
For a great wedding. Thank you so much again.
Thank you.
Hey guys, thanks again for listening to the show today. You can find more information on our guests in the show notes, as well as my contact and my website. If you have any questions regarding your French wedding, I'm happy to help. Also, please do not hesitate to leave a review for the show. There's also a link for that. That will literally take 1 minute of your precious time and will mean the world to me. I always appreciate your support. Thank you again very much for your time and feedback. Wishing you a great day or a great night anywhere you are in the world. I send you some good vibrations and we'll talk to you again soon for a new episode. Bye bye.